So let's consider a volume of water in a piston cylinder device, and let's assume that volume of water is at, let's say, 20 degrees Celsius, and the pressure around the piston cylinder device is 1 atm, and the piston is not heavy, it's a light piston, so the pressure inside the cylinder is also 1 atm. So this at this point we have liquid water. It's not going to boil just because we add a little bit of heat into that, so we call it as compressed liquid. So in a TV diagram, if we try to illustrate it, we will see something like this. And if I add heat into this, what's going to happen? The temperature is going to rise and the specific volume is going to rise. So we will have see a process like this. This temperature increase will happen until we reach saturated liquid. That is, all the water is heated up. So if I add a little bit of heat into the system, water is going to start boiling. So a liquid that is about to vaporize is called saturated liquid. So when water boils, you will see steam or vapor forming in the piston. So this kind of a mixture, saturated liquid and saturated vapor mixture, is called saturated liquid vapor mixture. So when you're boiling water, you know that the temperature doesn't change. The volume increases because steam volume keep increasing, but the temperature stays at 100 degrees Celsius for water. So we will see in the TV diagram, we will see a horizontal line to represent this saturated liquid vapor mixture. At some point, we will boil all of this liquid water into vapor, and this point we call it as saturated vapor. So if I remove heat, a little bit of heat from saturated vapor, it starts to condense. Now I'm still adding heat. I'm heating this system. So what happens is saturated vapor becomes superheated vapor. Superheated vapor, the difference between saturated vapor and superheated vapor is when I remove heat from superheated vapor, it doesn't start to become liquid. It stays as vapor. So this kind of a diagram is called TV diagram. This is very important. Go through this slide again and again, and remember all of these bold fonted terms. We are going to use these again and again. So this is the completed graph. You can see compressed liquid is represented by this line, saturated mixture is represented by this horizontal line, and superheated vapor is represented by this line. And this process, as I told you at the beginning, is for P equals 1. So what happens if I increase the pressure? Let's say 2 atm. The starting volume will be slightly lower than 1 at the 1 atm case. So we will start from here, and we will see a gradual increase of the temperature and volume when we are adding heat, and we will see the uh, boiling at a higher temperature. This is why we prefer to cook our food in a pressure cooker. When you are cooking in a pressure cooker, boiling temperature of water is higher, so food cooks at higher temperatures. It takes less time to cook the food. So if I continue the process will look like this. And what will happen if I reduce the pressure? For an example, if I am on top of a mountain, the pressure is lower. So when the pressure is lower, the starting volume would be lower, and I will see the increase of temperature when I'm heating the system, but the boiling will start at a lower temperature than 1 atm. So this is why it is said difficult to boil something, cook something on top of a mountain. The boiling temperature of water is lower, So even though you are boiling your pot of water, your food is going to cook at a lower temperature. So it takes longer to cook our food at a mountain, on a mountain. So we will see the continuation of the process like this. So if I change the pressure incrementally, I can get a graph like this. So you can see the pressure, with the increase in pressure, you have a increasing boiling temperature. At some point, you will see, uh, at very high pressure especially, you wouldn't be able to see saturated liquid vapor mixture. Instead, when you are heating from compressed liquid, you will see saturated liquid, and suddenly it will become saturated vapor and superheated vapor. So there is no saturated liquid vapor mixture, or in other terms, you will not see boiling of the liquid. This is called critical point, the transition from uh, the pressure that you can see boiling to pressure that you cannot see boiling is called critical point.